Never gone live on the phone before. How's it going? You already made it worth it. Just just hanging out. Having a crazy day. How's it going? You gotta type to me. This is weird being on the phone. It's strange. Why, thank you. Thank you for the applause. I should probably sit the phone down. Let's see. There we go. Why, hello, hello. How's it going? Man, this is weird. This is the first time going live in how long? Maybe more than a year. I don't even know how long this is gonna last because my phone's probably gonna die. It's almost dead. I figured it would be nice to give me a concise broadcast since it would limit me. Long time no see. Yeah. It's been kind of crazy. How old am I? Too old to be wearing skinny jeans and makeup. I'm just playing. You're never too old for that. But why, hello, Scarecrow. How's it going? It's been a pretty, I'd say, therapeutic year. I'd say it's been yeah, I know. That made my day. I wasn't gonna broadcast. I was just having an off evening, and I feel like you'll always have kind of some people who are close to you who you can always reach out to no matter what, but it's like that doesn't always, you know. Why, hello, how's it going, Becca? It's like you can always have, people who are close to you who you can always reach out to, but sometimes you just feel like it's just, you need something else, And I think for me, that's what YouNow used to be, and it's kind of difficult. Oh shit, yeah, I forgot. I'm a partner now on here. It's probably my first broadcast since I've been considered a partner on here. Probably won't have many more broadcasts, but I don't know. I was just having one of those evenings where I just felt off. Just everything felt off. I felt like, I felt like I wasn't me. I felt like everything around just didn't feel right. I feel like, I almost feel like I'm, at some point, I feel like I'm in somebody else's kind of, I don't know how to explain it. In a way, it's like you feel like you're almost in a, have I ever killed somebody? uh, I guess, I continue to kill versions about myself, I guess, or versions of myself, not to be confused with virgins with a G. My cats are freaking out right now. But versions of myself. I feel like it's an ongoing thing where I just feel like at the end of the day, it's like I feel like I haven't changed much, and I feel like anyone else in here who has been on my broadcast before could probably say the same. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I just kind of look around at the alternative music scene around us. I look around at social media around us, which I look at what's going on. I haven't really posted because I feel like it became such a almost an obsessive thing to post a selfie every day on Instagram, go live all the time on tweet 5 times a day to the point where I had to like schedule my tweets. you know. And then what was frustrating is as I was doing this, you know, following a couple friends or people I know, and seeing them post the exact same tweet, just copy pasted because it's really the same person sitting in a room just who blasts out tweets for all these people. But I've matured in a couple ways, but at the same time, it's like you almost kind of have a battle where you don't know if that's always for the best, which I think is the crazy thing. It's like, there was a certain um, level of ambition I feel like I had when I was younger, where I feel like I just was able to balls to the wall, just say what I wanted to say. I feel like now it's so difficult because like there's so many things you may want to say and you kind of can't. Um, and the frustrating thing is like you guys know how I stand with people accepting people. Everyone should be able to embrace themselves, what they want to do, what they want to look like, what they want to, listen to, what type of culture they want to be part of. Not everybody gets to choose that. There are so many people in the world who don't get to choose what they want to wear. They don't get to choose what type of people they want to be around. Um, and it's like, I don't know if I really talked about this, but a couple years ago, I kind of lost two of my best friends. Um, and I feel like if there was almost anything that kind of put the brakes on for me in a way, I feel like that probably had a good portion to do with it. Um, and Nation of Freedom. My thing with a Nation of Freedom is, it doesn't even have to mean America, at least. Nation of Freedom could be anything, it could be anywhere. It could be a social movement inside people and whatever, you know. But I don't know. Thank you so much for the tip. Jesus Christ. Sorry if you're religious. See, perfect example. I used to say Jesus Christ all the time, didn't even think about it. But it's like now I feel like you can almost I say it and I know no one's like, "Oh my god, he said Jesus Christ." But you almost feel like my gut reaction, I guess being exposed to so many different people who have so many different beliefs and everything, is like if I say something like Jesus Christ, for example, just the way I say it, I feel like I owe an apology in a way to someone who, you know. Um, so my take on it is this: I'm not particularly religious, but I think if you are anti-religion, that in itself is kind of a religion. That's kind of, a lifestyle of belief. Sorry if that sounds super ignorant at face value of the actual words I just said, but I think for you to be completely set on one thing, saying, oh, this is the way it is, whether that one thing that you're set on is either believing or saying there's nothing to believe in, I'd say one, well, I can't say that there's a definite, tangible amount of proof for there being something. But at the same time, you can't prove that something doesn't exist, because, and maybe if you know what I mean? It's just like, to me, I think it's something that people overthink. Mari, I love you. And my phone's okay. So I'm actually having fun doing this. I didn't know I would. So let me go get a charger so my phone doesn't die. But hold on a second. I'm not. I'm not gothic. I'm not goth. I guess you could maybe say that I'm gothic, but not goth. I would subscribe to that, I guess. But give me a second, because I'm actually having fun. So it's a bit of a surprise for me. I broadcasted with like 10% battery, so expecting that my phone would die mid broadcast. Um, which I was going to keep it 5 minutes just to say hey for my own, I guess, mental stability. So let me get a charger. I'll be back. This should be long enough. That's what she said. I did just whisper. That's what she said. If you didn't hear it. Okay. Now I can't. Oh wait. God. How do I do this without damaging my phone? What if I turn it sideways? Does that make? Am I sideways right now? I feel like I must be, right? I've got to be sideways. YouNow didn't think of this, so I can't charge my phone, or I feel like I'm gonna short it out. I guess I can do that. All right. No, Evie, do not eat my cable. This is mine. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Okay, back on track. Yeah, let's discuss like the most. I would say I'll say the term triggering, and I don't mean that in a offensive way, but the most controversial of topics, like religion. Why are we talking about it? Anyways, um, Sylvia, you lighten up my life. All of you do. I miss everything. Straight up, I miss 2013. Miss. Uh, I feel like I everything 2015 on. I feel like has been. I don't know how to describe it. It's like there's a damn tangent of what everything was supposed to be, and we were heading in one direction, and then everything just went fucking. And I mean that in so many different ways. I mean it in political events. I mean it in technological advances. I mean it in so many different ways. The music scene, I'm sorry, I know that there are plenty of people who have discovered newer bands in the past few years, and I'm sure you like them, but to me, I can't stand what's happening. And and I agree. Yet, I agree with that 100%. But my point is like, okay, so if you don't know this about me, now you know. Okay, so I was not on board when it became, when you kind of watch the website YouNow, or social media as a whole, or just the alternative music scene as a whole, go from, oh, content that showcased talent and potentially some decent morals, ethics, whatever. It was almost like it was laced with constructive inclusion of many different people. You watch that basically overnight, and I'm not trying to put anyone at blame. I think we're almost all at fault in a lot of this, but you saw that change just about overnight, to go from that to, hey, I need to take off my shirt to have people give me attention so I feel valued. Or, hey, I want to be, here someday and it's quiet for some reason, whatever, and I'm not really speaking from me personally, but, and I don't mean to get, to call anyone out, but I think that is the most fucked up thing, hands down, to have any sense of platform and saying, "Oh, this isn't working. I'm not making as much money as I could if I took my shirt off and completely sexualized myself." And um, what is that teaching viewers? Oh, if you want to be somewhere, if you want to make something happen with yourself, you need to. And I'm not shaming any of that, not intentionally at least. It's like, that's what you want to do, then do it. But I feel like we should hold ourselves to a higher standard than, oh, it's not working, so I need to get half naked. You know what I mean? Because I guess for me, yeah. So as you know, like at Warped Tour, I was, yeah. Let's not get there in that conversation. But so Warped Tour, I was out working with a bunch of different bands. I was promoting, trying to keep people to come to this stage is right. So it was hot as hell. Yeah, I didn't wear a shirt, so I didn't think it was a big deal. I wasn't going out broadcasting for myself. I wasn't going out passing out, business cards with my social media on it saying, "Hey, if you like me, then follow me." I was just walking around passing out, "Hey, come check out drama club, set time at this stage." You know what I mean? And for me to be doing that and multiple shows, be touched without permission, to be, you know, creeped on with like having people come up with, their cameras like this angled down at you, at your area where you're like clearly seeing what's happening. Yeah, I would say it was rough for me to see that this shit was just happening with me trying to work and whatever. The point is to see it shift from about content, real connections with people, to see that shift from, when people go to leave your stage because maybe you're just not that entertaining as, a band or something, and to say, hey, you guys won't want to leave yet because I'm just about to take my shirt off, so you should stay. Like, come on, what is that teaching people who are there, that if you want to have people notice you, you need to, sexualize yourself? And I just can't stand that. I think it's so messed up. I think it's so wrong. I don't mean to be just trashing on people who are doing things and trashing on people who are making moves and advancements in their careers, but it's like okay, I used to love Demi Lovato, straight up, like 100%. Demi's a beast. Ariana Grande was, I think, a little bit past, like a little bit more recent than what I'm like aware of, I guess. Sorry, I'm trying to fix this. But it's like Demi Lovato, you know, was a beast. She was awesome. And then she became forgotten about, right? People just kind of did not pay attention. Obviously, her hardcore fans stayed with her because it's like, you guys, I still have people here who are part of my community who, it's been years since I broadcasted. It's like, it's been years since I've seen you guys. I go live at whatever time it is right now, and you're still here. So, it's like, obviously, Demi Lovato is never going to lose that. But you saw a huge difference in Demi Lovato 2 years ago to her now. She literally, what, 8 months ago, maybe 6 months ago, completely just rode the popularity of bisexual women to stimulate success in her own career again. Like, I don't know if you saw it the way I saw it, but out of nowhere, just, oh, half naked, making out with girls on stage. You do you, like 1%, absolutely supporting you 100%. But to be exploiting what some people don't choose, which would be, being bisexual, for example, for financial profit, I think it's just, I don't think it's tasteful at all. I think it's a shame that that's what, a lot of these artists have to do. You look at Nicki Minaj, she was an artist long before she was half naked and everything. And where my problem is this, my problem is, what does that do for the, the fans that those people have? Oh God, I don't know what this means. I'm gonna hit accept. I don't know what that does. Okay, I don't know what's going on. But my point is, it's like, what does that teach the hardcore fans? That your sexuality, or the sexualizing of your own body, it's okay to undermine your entire, you know, musical career, to, gain success through that, through exporting that. Yeah, and I float between topics like crazy. I just think when you take a culture of people who already have a hard time, my cat's freaking out right now. My point is, if you take a culture of people who already have a hard enough time looking in the mirror and loving everything about themselves, well, now spice that up, because all their role models are literally just, being marketed as complete pieces of meat. Exactly. Yeah, and it's like, if you hadn't seen this, I'm sure some of you had. throwback that there was a magazine cover with two friends of mine out of three people, and well, friends, I'll say. Um, and the magazine cover was hottest women in rock or something like that. And okay, Evie is freaking out. I'm gonna move Evie so I can talk to you. Evie, you are insane. All right, back to it. So the cover was the hottest women in rock. It was three girls on the cover, two being like, I'll say, acquaintances of mine. They had posted, you know, winning the cover as being one of the biggest successes of their careers. Like they won a huge, it's like the post that they made saying it's been a dream come true to win this. It's been, being on this cover. And what was frustrating was these are musicians, three musicians who weren't on this magazine cover before. Out of place. I hear you there. Well, I left a comment basically saying, like, not to, not trying to downplay the successes of being on a magazine cover, because I think that's huge, and congrats to all the girls on the cover. But the problem is this: you have followings of people who don't love themselves, have a really hard time loving themselves, and you're just rubbing in your face that you're on a magazine cover for your looks. So the problem is this, you have this following, they have a hard time with themselves. You produce music that, is in some ways exploiting that for gain, in some ways maybe not so much, but then you run this example of what's important is looks, directly in their faces. And then you move on, being on this magazine cover for your looks. You show all these people that what's important is your look. And then you say, hey guys, love yourself, don't bully other people. And then they just repeat it, It's like, there's a clear issue there. Marketing to people who have a hard time with depression, anxiety, fitting in, have a hard time looking in the mirror and loving themselves, loving what they see. And you stand out as, a face more than a person of inspiration who wants to create a movement to try to change those kind of social, I'd say, injustices. I don't know if that makes sense. Sure. And then you just preach about love yourself. I don't think it works that way. I don't think, or at least maybe it does, but I don't think it should. I think we should be celebrating, celebrating everything else that doesn't have to do directly with looks. Exactly. And, of course, that may not have made me look so good to be the one saying, guys, congrats, but we should be celebrating other things other than who are the hottest women in rock. There are so many other things that cover could have been about. That magazine cover could have been, about the Fenda movement, for example. You know what I mean? Like, we have people who are depressed, who are alcoholics, who are drug addicts, any combination of those. I'll say I hadn't drank alcohol in almost 2 years. I was never the guy to try to brag on social media of, being a rock star and drinking a bunch of alcohol and doing all this. Because I feel like those people who had to outwardly try to, suggest that to everybody, I feel like a lot of those people, you don't say anything into what they're told us. I'll answer that in a second. I've never been that person but I did drink a lot, you know, and it's something that never got control of me. It was always a choice. I was like, yeah, why not? Whatever. I'm of age, sure, I'll drink. But you have people who, you know, time and time again find themselves in trouble, putting themselves at risk, putting others at risk because they didn't have the power to stay above the substance, you know. Um, I had never done any drugs. How many people in the alternative music scene can say that? Not many. But point is, it's like instead of celebrating, hey, who are the hottest women, or you know, there's no substance to that. Now, perfect question there is, you know, why won't they say anything? Why won't they do anything? Well, the problem is if you try to say or do anything, I mean, this happens right here. You come off as negative. You come off as a hater in some way. You're gonna, you know, as if the musician were further along in their career, like that could potentially mean they don't get brought up for a tour, or they don't get that next album cover, or you know what I mean? It's like there's so many politics that are not, you know, political in the sense of, you know, political candidates, but politics involved in the music scene. It's like, oh, if you try to vocalize an opinion that's against what is really being kind of spread everywhere, you're gonna be fighting against the current. You're not gonna get anywhere. You're gonna drown. You know, it's like a riptide. It's like if you go with it, you can ride success and you can make money and you can become an icon. You know, no one's more iconic than this, and it's like that came out of nowhere. But and I agree. My whole thing, as you guys know, it's always been my my thing had always been, yeah, okay, I'm not the most, you know, I don't have the best face. I'm not the tallest. I don't have the best muscles. I'm just not the most handsome. And you know, if say for example, back when I was, you know, single, if a girl is gonna not want to talk to me and not get to know me because of the way I look, um, I don't want that person's attention anyways. Especially when I know if they actually sat down with me and had a conversation, then they'd understand who I am and what I'm about. Um, you know, and for me, it's like if looks are going to be a factor in me making friends or, you know, getting to know people, or back then the goal was have a girlfriend or something, then it's not someone I want to really invite into my life anyways, you know. And that's the hard thing there is can you really be living if you have to censor your own opinions? That's probably the hardest thing that I kind of struggle with. It's a matter of, if you guys remember 2012, oh my god, I put anyone on blast who I felt like needed it, you know. Like I felt like I had a purpose back in the day. I felt like there was something that needed to change, and I felt like, well, hey, I have a voice. Um, you know, I gotta say something, you know, and I did, and it didn't always mean the best thing, you know. I remember like my post on Blood in the Dance Floor blew up as one of the biggest posts I ever made, and it's like the reason why I feel like I can't do that is because, well, you have so many people now who that's literally what they do, for their content to try to grow, is just be laced in controversy, you know, and you never want to come off as something like that. And it's not even so much of an impression that someone may have towards you, but it's like, you know, it's not my place to get into all this controversy, but I feel like there was a something that had to happen. I feel like there was a, it's like Batman, you know what I mean? Batman's only around when you need him. Um, I feel like now it's like almost everything's so far like gone that it's like whether you have perfect speaking skills and a perfect motive and, you know, a perfect reason, I still feel like if it's against the current, then you know, there's nothing you can do. And there it's just, you know, Jenna, let's see, I still, yeah, I digital escape. That was an interesting little thing there, but I mean, I don't. there's no Batman doesn't have to be a person with any race. I mean, my point is you know, the concept of Batman, the concept of some type of hero in some regard, of, not always meaning the best hero, but someone who is flying some type of banner, for a certain social change in some regard. Um, my point was more the sense of, it's like, now, I mean, you guys are always going to be there for me, and that to me is the biggest thing. But I guess what's frustrating is when I have people who you really thought were really there for you as a friend, and really there for you to help you with what you want to achieve. And when you stop broadcasting and you kind of go ghost mode, um, they forget about you. They don't return your calls or your texts. And it's like, dude, you know, it's like when you've gotten people out of some serious pickles before, and it's like, it's kind of frustrating. You guys are here. You're always going to be here. You guys, without you guys, it's just frustrating when you have people who you thought were going to be there for you forever, and not, but like people you met in person, best friends that you may have had, and you kind of feel like it's because, and I guess it makes sense if you're going to become a hermit like I did. Yeah, people are gonna maybe forget about you in some regard. Um, well, I appreciate you. I know, right? I love you, Orseka. And yeah, I'm fine. It's I'm okay. I feel like things are not okay, but I feel like I'm okay. I feel like I'll always be okay. Um, but I don't know. I feel like I hit a point where it's like, if it's almost like if you have something you feel like you need to say, but if you say it, then it's not gonna, I don't know. It's just a weird time. I feel like it's just not the time for me, is all. I feel like, I just straight up feel like if it's not a thing right now, it's because it's not the right time. And you look back at bands like Rage Against the Machine, who, everything that they said, everything they stood for, it's like if you had a band like that these days, I mean, if I feel like if we ever needed a band like that, it would be now. But the problem is, well, hey, there are bands like that, but you'll never hear about them because they won't let you hear about them, you know? Well, I appreciate it. I love that I can always message you guys. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. But I don't know. I mean, I love the guys in Black Veil Brides. I think Jake, Jinx, Cece are amazing musicians. Um, and to take it into that conversation, I feel like, and I'm really not trying to out anybody or anything, or say anything in a controversial sense, but um, it's like that band, for example, meant a lot to a lot of people, and it may still mean a lot to a lot of people. And I would love to see them become, the next Metallica or the next Kiss or something huge like that. But I just feel like what should have happened didn't. I feel like what was happening, what the future may have been holding, I feel like for some reason, they strapped on the brakes and either stopped or something. But Same. And this is crazy. I'm wearing the shirt right now. I don't even listen to these guys anymore. Um, I still have like three friends in that band or so, but it's like, how many friends do I have who used to be in that band? Um, I'd say my respect for Chris Motionless, I feel like, has grown a bit. I feel like, yeah, I feel like, a lot of the reasons why I may not have completely supported Motionless in White in the past, I feel like they have matured, at least as people, at least my impression of those people. Chris specifically, I guess. I don't watch interviews, I haven't talked to him or anything, like, whatever, but, I feel like with everything that's been happening, all these bands that are around for 3 years and then, become absolute assholes and break up, or something, like, I'll say one thing that's really important for me to just kind of hint at. It's just like, if before I had, okay, let me put it this way. Before I had, done any touring, before I had met any bands, if I was absolutely vocalizing my extreme support for these bands and absolutely going over the moon to advertise and promote those bands, and then after me living with them and touring with them, you never see me post a single word about those people ever. There's probably a reason why. I'll always be vocal. My Evie's trying to get in the camera. I'll say, oh my god. I'll always vocalize my support. And the musical integrity in a lot of those musicians. Andy was such a great dude, such a nice and kind person to me. Ronnie Radke was as well. To go from being treated like absolute trash by people who you may have looked up to at one time, to go from that to being, treated as an equal and being respected and being greeted by Ronnie and Andy and Ryan and Jackie and all those guys, and it really puts into perspective that the big bands like Falling in Verse or Black Veil Brides or whatever, they're there for a good reason, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that they're really good people. Um, I feel like a lot of the smaller bands who, are a thing for a year or two, and then have all these ego issues, and cheat on their girlfriends 2 days into the tour and everything. Like, usually get into all this bullshit drama, break up, and usually there's so much bullshit going on behind the scenes that it's frustrating. I'm actually a jazz musician. I was actually in jazz band. I played jazz for quite a long time. But it's like, name any band that's come up in the past, since 2010 or something, that's like still a thing. Um, Yeah, Ryan's such a great dude. I haven't talked to him in a while, but it's like, there really aren't many bands who have popped up, you know, and I think a lot of it has to do with, well, if you're not gonna, if you're not gonna, I don't know, I don't need to get into it, but ABBA, I don't mean to take it to a negative direction. As you guys know, like, I've always tried to keep it positive, but, yeah, I hear you with that. My hardest thing was like, when I was so busy, when my inbox was flooded, I still tried to talk to everybody I could. I'm just not good at responding to text messages sometimes, and I'll admit to that 100%. But it's like, I I know that sometimes it's like, I get really upset with myself because someone will message me or something, and I'll read it, but maybe I don't have a couple minutes to go through and message back and everything. And fast forward, a couple weeks later or something, I get another message from them, and I meant to respond, but I forgot, and I'm like, I meant to respond, and then I dropped the ball again or something, and you look at the message chain, and it's like, you see them message you these many times, and you're like, fuck, I meant to message you back, you know. Um, Bands that aren't with a record label, let's see. So I'd say that that's the way to do it, but the problem with it is this. The problem with that is, I would say if you're the type of person who can sit down and fully produce an EP by yourself, mix and master it, produce it, put it out yourself, you don't need a label. Don't even, avoid it if you can. But if you're the kind of person who, like, people don't know this, but Bon Jovi, he loves having feedback from a label. You have two different types of musicians for the most part. I will say three. You have musicians who want to be independent and just create their art and put it out with no censorship, no edits, no suggestions from any other people. It's just them. Then you have musicians who are the opposite, where they are pretty much being given this music, this song, whatever it is, and they just do their part to it. And then you have the third type who they are in between. They like to do it themselves, but they really like having feedback, and in some ways they may need that feedback. I'm definitely the third type. Like, and here's one thing is, none of you know this, but wait, let me see. Let me see. I gotta read that. Tag Mentalist post stopped Skyping me and didn't want to promote this. Oh, that is sad. I'd be interested in finding out who that is, but we don't need to get into drama right now. But let's see, where was I? What was I talking about? Hi, hello, Sonny. Oh God, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, musicians and their or their integrity for their music. So none of you guys know this, I'm sure, but I mean, you probably could guess. But anyways, so I've been working on a lot for quite a long time. I have a lot of music that, a lot of it's pretty finished. A lot of it's just concepts, just ideas. But I've been doing it for years. I've been doing it. I was recording on Audacity in like 2007. I always been working on music. Well, a couple of months ago, I've always been playing my Avenged Sevenfold guitar solo-y stuff, my hard rock metal kind of shreddy stuff, and I just got so itchy about it because I've been doing that for 15 years. You know what I mean? I completely reinvented the way I look at a guitar. I reinvented the way I play it, the type of songs that I make. Um, I go from 6 minute intricate guitar solos based around like a Avenged style to a 3 minute thing. I shoot Sylvia. You gotta shoot me an email or something, or tweet me, or message me on Facebook. Message me on something, though, please. Um, well, um, but I had all this stuff, and that's what I was into. But that's what I was doing for so long that I wanted to do something that was different for me, and it was completely changing it up. So I know you guys will really appreciate um, what I've been working on. But I'm my own worst enemy with this kind of stuff because how many times I change what I want to do is, oh my God. That's why, like, I'm, reaching out to people. Um, if you didn't know this, I had a couple managers in the past who I had been very quiet about in the past couple of years. I hadn't really talked to them much, kind of let them kind of forget in a way about me in a sense. But I have these songs and I have this collection, and I've just been working on them consistently, and I hit a point where I'm like, okay, I feel like I've done so much by myself that I feel like I really need to get it in the hands of someone else to get feedback to, you know, take maybe a different direction. Let's see if you can shoot me a message. Both of you guys will chat. Yeah, send me a message tomorrow. I don't know when I'm going to bed, but anyways, my point was like, I feel like I hit a point where I'm almost like ramming my own head into a brick wall over and over repeatedly. It's like you can only, certain whether it's a painter or something, a certain painter can only, I feel like make so many paintings before they just go like, I need something different, and where a lot of other artists would just reach to some type of substance or something, to create some type of inspiration. You look at what happened to the Beatles. Beatles before they were introduced to pop was a completely different band from what Beatles after that ended up being. Um, and it's interesting to me that you have certain artists, whether they're musicians, whether they're painters, illustrators, directors, whatever, who do crutch on some form of substance for creativity. And it's like, if I laid out a million Legos to you and I said, build something, I know my first reaction is, what the fuck am I gonna build? When I can build anything I want, I have a million Legos. What am I gonna build? I think I want to build this right now. This is yeah, this is cool. This work. Wait, hold on, fuck this. I want to smash this and I want to build it and make this instead. I want to, you know what I mean? It's like, that's been my problem. I feel like, is how many times I've gone, I want to do this. I have a vision. I have a direction. This is what I want. And as I'm working there and as I'm getting it and it's coming to fruition, then I just go, let me just seal that up and just tuck that away somewhere and forget about it for 5 years and do something different. It's like, I feel like I need to get back in touch with, dealing with management or something who will help light a fire into my ass and say like, hey, no, instead of sealing that away for yourself, and you know how many vlogs I've made that I've never posted, but I've just made them for myself, and I've watched for myself, and I've watched them just a couple times by myself and kept them hidden. It's like, having someone who says, hey, wait, don't put that on private, make it public. You know what I mean? It's tough, really tough. Exactly, exactly. And like, I guess the thing with me is, I guess the funny thing there is, when I do have something that I can share, who knows how long ago it was made? You know what I mean? I may share something that may be new, but it could have been something from almost 10 years ago, you know? Yeah. It's been an interesting battle, though, you know? I'm glad that I broadcasted. I'd say in the past it had been a hard thing for me because, in some of the broadcasts I've done since 2015 or so, I had only broadcasted when I really wasn't feeling good because I knew it would cheer me up, you know. And in some events, I had broadcasted and it was not fun. I did not have fun, and afterwards, I felt worse. So it's like the time between each broadcast got longer and longer because I felt like when I did it and I didn't have fun, I felt worse, and I didn't want to, make myself ever feel worse. Um, this one I feel like it's been so long. You know, I'm home alone. I have the house to myself, and I'm walking around at like midnight, kind of losing my mind a little bit. You know what I mean? And I just like I love my direct family. I love my everyone I'm close to that I could always reach out to. But I was just like this. I just need something else. I just need. So I'm glad that it did broadcast. Yeah. Well, thank you for the compliment on the hair. It's crazy. It does not look good right now. I could care less, but I think we're all losing our minds a bit. I think we're all. I don't think anybody's 100% stable all the time. I think some people do a better job at remaining in the driver's seat than others, and for some people, I feel like and what I mean by doing a better job is you may have two people. One person always seems to be in the driver's seat. The other one may be on and off all over the place. But it's relative to how hard the struggle is for them. Because if you have that person who's almost always in the driver's seat, but they rarely have a struggle of that. Well, that's not, to me, that's not as, um, admirable as the other person who may be on and off all the time, but their struggle is so much harder than the other person. For me, if you want to admire someone, it's that person who's consistently faced with whether it's pain or internal struggles or depression or anxiety or whatever, and they, when it is the hardest, and maybe it's not every time, maybe it's only a fraction of the time, they do remain in the driver's seat where they wouldn't have otherwise. Yeah, always go to bed. Always go to bed. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. I guess, and I feel like the thing with the site, another reason why I don't broadcast so much anymore, is I feel like it may have become a thing more on like, oh, I got to get X amount of likes, and I got to get, you know, got to get this many followers after, and oh, donate bars. I feel like it's easy to stoop into that and make it, be a thing for the wrong reasons. And you have some people making YouTube videos who are like, oh yeah, guys, our like goal is we want to get 3,000 likes on this video before the next one. It's frustrating. Britt, I love you. I miss you. Ugh. I know, and see, that's the thing with me is, like I still meet people all the time where I'm like, hey, if you want, you can follow me on Twitter, or Instagram, or something. Because if you've been to a show with me, then I try to bring people together. I will literally take a group of people who are over here and a group of people who are over there, and I'll be like, hey, I'll literally grab two groups of people and push them together and be like, hey guys, we gotta be friends. Let's all be friends. Instead of having your thing over here and your thing over here, bring it together. Um, let's all be a group. I talked to my brother, yeah. I also feel like if you hadn't noticed, my brother just moved to Canada recently, and it's something that I feel like I kind of need some time on. I feel like that put a bit of a mix in my life, you know. Oh my god. Britt, you're so silly. Aw. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm good. It's just been crazy is all. I feel like I feel like every once in a while everyone's kind of faced with a make it or break it moment, kind of like a moment that really puts you from one chapter into the next. And I feel like there's one coming up my way. I feel like I'm coming up on the start of whatever the hell the next chapter is, you know. Mm. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I still love that picture of us. And I love the fact that in that picture you're still like pretty much bawling because it's like that picture is just such a real picture, you know what I mean? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Sylvia. That's got to be tough. Britt, you're so silly. A bicycle is just an acoustic motorcycle. I dig it. Quote of the day. It's the background of your phone. That means a lot to me. I um I look at my wall every day, my wall with all the drawings and the letters and all the pictures, that's helped me so much, it really has. It's motivated me, you know. I love that wall. I still get to add to it sometimes, which is nice. I don't know. Should we just start broadcasting all the time again? Is this might be the first broadcast where I didn't play guitar or I didn't sing, I just talked. It's kind of nice. I feel like it goes quickly. It's nice reading chat and it's nice, doing this. Oh, good to see you. I've been doing just fine. A year journal, I don't know what that is. I'm assuming that would be where you kind of write what you're going through, for a year in one journal and then start a new one. I've been thinking of cutting my hair short again. Not short, short, all the way short, because it's kind of fun to be crazy with it, but just shorter, I guess. I am still with the pretty lady. Aw, thank you. If you blow me up on social media, that always makes me smile too, because I I don't post on Instagram anymore. I feel like it got so superficial that I was not, I felt like whatever confidence I had in my own appearance, I felt like that started to just get worse by posting selfies. I'm like, oh my god, I look terrible. And I've seen that where I've like gone back and I've looked at like selfies I've taken that I didn't post because I'm like, ew, oh my god, and I don't post. I look back at those sometimes and I'm like, wait, this picture is fine. You know what I mean? I think we all do that. I know I do takes forever. Well, thank you. It's good to see you. I feel like I look terrible, constantly as well. It's good to see you again, Clarice. Well, that's nice. Sounds really cool. That's what's been crazy is seeing you guys grow up. Like, God, that's insane. I've seen some of you go from, you know, like 12 or 13-year-olds that, were just little fetuses to like some are like Instagram models and stuff now. And that was always funny to me is thinking that like, um, that a lot of those people are we still gonna be here, you know, two tattoos. I have no tattoos. You're 19. See, that's what I'm talking about. I don't even like to. So like, I used to never like to answer how old I was, just because I felt like it's like, who cares? What does it matter? But now I really don't like to answer how old I am. I feel ancient. I feel like an old man. I feel almost exhausted in some way. You know, that's insane. I'm pretty sure I've known, I'd say Brit, who's been in chat. Known some of you since like almost even going on 10 years before you know it. It's insane. Today, a girl complimented my eyebrows. She said they were amazing. It kind of lightened me up a bit because I had not given my eyebrows any attention in the past like 4 months. Mm, that's right. Too old to feel young, too young to feel old. Oh yeah, throwback to MCM statuses, right? Forgot all about that. I feel like soon I'll need to do a photo shoot or something. Cause like so many people haven't even seen me in like years, So many people, you watch one Snapchat video of me or something, my hair is super short, the next one is super long, you know. Subway. I'll never forget that Subway gift card. It has the Baltimore, I'm pretty sure it has the Baltimore Ravens on it. I miss Courtney. I you can't cringe over the past, you know what I mean? Um, I think that's one thing that say I definitely don't subscribe to is the concept of, well, okay, subscribe to, wrong choice of words, but it's like there are not many things in my past that I was passionate about that I'm now ashamed of, you know? I feel like a lot of people got into this thing where now they're like, "Oh my God, like 13-year-old me, oh, such cringe." It's like, you don't be critical of yourself in that sense. It's like to see people who, their entire lives may have revolved around one band that they were in love with back then, who now they make fun of and hate. It's kind of difficult to watch. Thanks for watching those old videos. YouTube was never, I think, the right thing for me. This is so real. I'm talking to real people in person, no filter, no editing, no jump cuts. I never did any scripts in a single video I ever made, not a single script. Everyone else was doing scripts, jump cuts, everything, lying in their videos, clickbait. I'm not trying to compete with clickbait and scripts and lying and everything like that. Yeah, I hear you. But at the same time, I'm sure, like, a lot of people can go back to some of that old music that they used to listen to and play it and still go, wow, kind of wish I could go back. Weezer and Blank. Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've been on here. Good, I got you fanned. Yeah, I know. That was always my favorite, I guess. It was like I love always meeting you guys and everything, but I have more fun meeting parents because you never know. Sometimes the parents are gonna come up to you and be like, "Oh my God, like, you know, like absolutely not respect me in any way and absolutely, be like, "Oh my God, my daughter made me come here and stuff," and I'm like, well, thanks for bringing her, thanks for coming to the show, thanks for saying hi to me, let's have a conversation, let's talk. And then after they, hey, listen, I'm real sorry I was standoffish before, I'm really glad I stopped and talked to you. Oh yeah, thank you, I'm glad I talked to you too. You know what I mean? Hmm. Lincoln Park and Motorhead. I um I was 5 years old. I wanted to be Billy Idol. I spiked my hair up and I put on a stupid vest that I found when I was 5. Just going right. Oh man. Now I'll say this. Now that I'm older, I really look into old Billy Idol and like, dude was literally nothing but like drugs and women. It's like, that had made me become a bigger fan of like Bon Jovi, who I'd like to think were at least less on substance abuse and more on, speaking for maybe those who may not always have a voice. That's something I always respect. I always have a respect for looking out you know, for those who I feel like people may not even be able to locate sometimes with a magnifying glass. Yet you have Bon Jovi putting a spotlight on these people. That'd be cool to see him for sure. Oh yeah, I'll hug all the parents. I love giving hugs. You know, for me, it's like anyone can shake a hand. Anyone can come off as nice or friendly at a meet and greet table, even if they suck. But it's like I give embracing hugs. Yeah, that's a lot harder to fake. It's genuine when you feel me grapple on, and I'm just we're hugging it out. Yeah, I miss you guys straight up. I do miss touring. I miss running into people. I hit a point where I was so frustrated watching, you know, being at all these shows and watching all these people around me, and I'd been asked to even maybe play for some of these bands who are huge that I didn't really actually want to. But my point was like, I got frustrated, um, being around it every day yet still feeling like I just want to do what I want to do, So I want to take some time off and dye my hair purple. I wish I could, but I also don't know if I could maintain purple hair. Sylvia, where do you live? There are still people who I've got to meet. Evie, you are a savage. Hmm. Oh, that tour was so good. That tour was amazing. The people, my playlist I listened to, my bunk bed. I miss everything about that tour. Yeah, that's true. I used to live in LA for a while. Feel so awkward. How do you think I feel? You now is awkward. It's difficult. Don't feel awkward though. Pizza, thumbs up, thank you. Oh, thank you. I feel like it's frustrating. You feel like it's something that's yet to come, but it's like sometimes you feel like it's something that should have already happened. I'm sitting here thinking back a couple of years ago when I had super short hair and I just started all this craziness. I was so ambitious. I just wanted to have something real and I wanted to have it fast and just wanted to have it happen, you know. And I kept hitting up, I kept having these ideas that could have launched or I could have put out or I could have done and it just didn't feel right. Something felt wrong, so I just didn't do it. And I'm sitting here now and thinking back on those ideas, saying that I'm glad that I didn't do them. But it's also a scary thing because you feel like, what I'm doing right now may be the same thing. Tell your princess that, hey, mm, yeah, I miss it out that way. I miss the people. I miss being able to just walk down the road and be somewhere worthy of. I could be streaming right now, sitting, on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Instead, I'm sitting in my couch. I'd much rather have cool scenery I could be around. Every day was, an adventure. Every day was a Snapchat story or someone I'd run into or something to say. Now I feel like I'm, you know, just some regard just trapped, whether it's emotionally or mentally trapped or physically. But I also feel like it's, it takes those times of feeling completely suppressed and those times that, the pressure just builds and builds and builds and gets tough and gets unbearable at times. But then, that's when you make 10 moves. That's when you step so far ahead. And it's difficult because as you're sitting there waiting for the next step or working on that next step or working to break down that wall to you know it feels like it's never going to end. You don't know when it's going to end. It feels like it's something that you could not get over sooner. It's something that you feel like you just want to shake something and just, it's like, so frustrating. But then that wall does come down and then you run. Look for the food places. I'd say I've gotten familiar with, oh, we're in this town, we're in this city, hey, we gotta go here, we gotta go to this place. Oh, this place has the best tacos, this place has got this. Yep, shoot me a message. Um Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being here. Thank you for continuing to, you know, be part of this kind of world, you know. I feel like there may be a couple, but I feel like there's not many people on this site anymore who are even somewhat like me, you know. But yeah, I should probably get going. What time is it right now? I'm Eastern time, so it's gotta be like what, 2 or something. I don't know. So I use Twitter. Let me see if I can type it in the chat. Otherwise, yeah, let's see. That's my Twitter, that's my Snapchat, that's my Instagram. Oh, it's 2 a.m. Yeah, I should probably get going. Um, we'll see what happens. You know, it's either going to, like I said, either that wall is gonna come down and things are gonna happen, or you know, I'm starting to get to that point where I'm like, I just I can't rely on anybody else. You know, I can't wait for anybody else. I can't, you know. But we should get going to bed, guys. I know quite exhausted. I have to get up quite early tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm glad as well. I'm sorry if I'm coming off as negative. I don't mean to be. I mean to be vocal about the negativity and being positive through it, you know. If anything, that's what it's all about. It's never to be whiny and complaining, but it's to offer, you know, it's to put a light on myself, showing you how, um, you know, I'm still here. You know, I'm uh, I'm always gonna be taking those step forwards no matter what. Why? Thank you for the compliment. I'm gonna hit you up with a fan. Gotcha. And I guess that's the other thing. It's about being real. It's about being human. Because like if you throw back to a couple years ago, you know, it was not easy to be human when, you know, I like with the smaller, quieter chats. Although I'd say it was fun when there were 700 people watching me at one given time. That was insane. That was crazy. But it was so impersonal. You know, I didn't have a connection with anybody in chat. I was just doing my thing. You know. But this, I can really sit here. We can really chat, and we can say hey, and we can ask questions. We can answer things. We could, you know, I'm a firm believer in sometimes you need to speak about things to get them out, you know, to get there in the open and see how you really feel about it, see what you want to do, you know. But we should be going to bed, guys. Thank you so much. Make sure if you don't have me on Instagram and Twitter, make sure to do so because I do post on those things. I do post on Snapchat. Did post it. I posted it on my stories. But shoot me a message anytime, guys. Shoot me a tweet. Um, the funny thing is, like this chat right now, you know, I can see myself in the near future looking back, saying like, yeah, that that was that chat that remember when when everything was how it felt back then, you know, and we'll be in a completely different place, surrounded by completely different things, completely different world. Looking back on this moment right now, you know, that's what it's all about. That, and I'm impulsively thinking about cutting my hair a bit shorter again, randomly. I go through moments where I'm like, yep, I just want to cut, gone. But all right, thank you guys. I will see if we can get on here and chat some more. I'd say it's nice, it's therapeutic. You know, as I used to play guitar and I used to sing all the time. Well, that was fun, but I'm just not inspired by most of that music anymore. I'm really not, and I'm really not inspired by new music. There's no new band that I hear a song of where I'm like, oh, I want to learn how to play that. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, if I'm almost old and sick of what I have been playing for the past 15 years, and if there's not much new that's coming out inspiring me, you know, the only inspiration I'm getting right now is stuff that I'm writing, stuff that I'm doing myself. I'm inspiring myself. I'm becoming my own favorite guitar player. I'm becoming my own favorite singer. A big battle with that is my voice. I had worked so hard on my voice over the past few years that I've gone from, oh, I want to be able to sing Bon Jovi, or oh, I want to sing Slipknot. Wouldn't that be cool to sing like that? I want to be able to sing Pantera. I want to sing all these bands. I want to sing Panic the Disco. I want to sing My Chemical Romance. I want to be able to sing all this stuff. Well, I had worked so hard on singing all of those different styles that they're all now utilities on my utility belt that I'm having a hard time choosing which one. you know, it's like I have no choice but to either do two musical projects or to just do one that is, different character voices for different things. And it's like, I'm just, I love singing different styles, but it's so difficult. So many people that have one style, they have one sound, that's all that they can do. But it's like for me, well, I taught myself how to sing all these different styles. It's like, well, I know what I can do, and what I can do is any of these 25 options. So what the fuck do I want to do, And you don't always know what you want because that changes so quickly. That changes from one day to the next. You may love something, want something tonight, and the next day be over it, not wanting anything to do with it. Well, here's a cheers to growth, I guess. It's cheers to um, being human. It's cheers to, you know, changing as people, as individuals. It's maturing. It's learning about yourself. Maybe maturing isn't so much the sense of acquiring experiences from an outside world, but maybe it's more so acquiring knowledge about yourself and how you interact with the scenery around you. I'm probably not gonna cut my hair short, but I'll probably if I do anything, I'll probably bring this back up a bit. I'll probably bring that about the same. I'll probably bring this up a bit, and I'm probably just gonna do a bit shorter so it can grow because it gets a little knotty, gets a little frustrating, gets long, and it's like I straightened this shit not long ago. It's already kind of all over the place. Some of it I do have to cut out a bit, but yeah. Just thank you guys for being here. I feel like I owe you guys so much. I do. I feel like I want to be able to repay you guys for how I feel like you've treated me. And it's frustrating when you feel like it's not easy to do that. You guys make it difficult because you're so great. So for that, I'm just absolutely grateful. But all right, well, we got to get going to bed. Um, like I said, shoot me a message, tweet me, hit me up, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. I love you. More than anything to take away from all this is, just try to really ask yourself how you feel at any given day, and whether it's something that someone is sharing with you or something you discovered on your own. Try to block out the outside influences and just listen to it. How does this resonate with you as a person? You may hear a song from a band that everyone says fuck this band, and you may hear that song and you may instantly say fuck that band. Well, instead, here's the challenges. Um, Form your own opinion. You know. Oh, how's it going? I'm doing quite well. I gotta make sure I have you fanned. Yep, have you fanned. Yeah, that's one thing is popping on here, and some people may have forgotten about you and they go, "What the fuck? Oh my god, I remember that dude." But challenge yourself. Always try to learn and grow as a person. Um, if you have, everybody has prejudices to some regard, but try your best to, you know, not um, not have them for the wrong reasons. Keep yourself safe. Always be safe. If clearly someone is complete maniac, alcoholic, drug addict, and they're, be careful. Don't put yourself or someone else's life at risk. But you know, too many prejudices are held too dearly and taught down to young kids that should not exist at this point. We're past that. Um, Unfortunately, because of bigger business and profiting and politics and community funding, we're not going to be past that. But what you have control over is every day that you live, what you can do with your life, and how you can treat other people that you interact with. And that's what's important. I think that's really what the real heaven is what we already have. You have an opportunity right now tomorrow to you have an opportunity to make your day have a positive impact on someone else's. Whether it's leading by example or directly helping somebody out, but you have an opportunity to make your day better for yourself and someone else's day better for themselves as well. um yeah, yeah, I know, I miss my short hair. My short hair was cool forever ago. Not many people, I feel like, have the short hair like that. Hair's still kind of cool though. I think I'll always have cool-ish hair. I always cut it myself, but I'm glad you remember me. Yep, I still have that kiss poster still in the same spot. All right, thank you guys. I'm going to bed. I love you. Well, not going to bed yet. I need to, but I won't. But I should, but I'm not gonna. I need to read that damn book to myself, don't I? I'm not gonna. But I love you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I love you. I'll always love you. You guys are the best.